Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the recording. Alright, everyone, welcome to the closing ceremonies of the Centaurus Festival. Congrats, you have survived Centaurus Festival, the sequel, Centaurus Festival 2. I'm so glad that you all decided to swing back if you're returning, con goer, or give us a shot if this was your first time attending. Onion's also thankful. She's rubbing her face against my monitor. Um, so, things I want to go over before I let y'all go to watch, what was it, The Glow from the TV for this? Oh god, I'm definitely butchering the name of that movie, I'm sorry. Which is right after that, and then, the final axing of talking permissions in all the channels. I saw the TV Glow, that's what it's called. Thank you.
I saw the TV Glow.
So, some statistics. For this year's Centaurus Festival, there were 193 attendee registrations, which is I think 50 more? 50 or 60 more than we had last year. I'm not sure what our peak attendance was. We did seem to have at least 131 new or returning folks join the convention, and there were 123 non-staff intros, so I think between that and the lurkers from last year, we're probably looking at around the 130 to 150 range is what I want to say for attendance, which is really cool. That's another 50 people than last year, I think. Our non-profit for this year, the Internet Archive, we collectively raised $86.70, which is awesome! That's so cool! Thank you to everyone who donated, and who we were able to give the donator roll to, and the swag bag. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for supporting the Internet Archive, and, letting us give you some stuff for it. It feels good. Please, for everyone here, all 62 of you, please don't forget to fill out the response form for panels. That has been posted in announcements. I'm gonna repost it in chat. Wabam. That form is used to give panelists and staff feedback. Onion, why are you doing that? That's used to give, there's not a deadline for the form per se, but I would, ow, don't slap me, Onion. But I would really, prefer it if you did try to get it done within, the next week, because people will just straight up forget to look at it after that. That's just kind of how it goes. But please give the panelists feedback, tell them what you liked, tell them what you were excited to see from them. That's one of the things that really keeps people going, keeps people motivated and energetic, and, it makes our great, fantastic panelists want to come back next year. And also, talking about the things you love about the panels might inspire you to make a panel. Do it! We had 6 improv panels this year, 6 off the cuff, totally, just whipping it out, during the convention panels. That's amazing. That's awesome. I would love to keep that up next year. I want to keep the off-the-cuff impromptu panels a tradition. Something that we do, but that I don't think a lot of the other bigger conventions necessarily tackle, because they're bigger. They have, 200 more people than us. It's a lot harder to do that with just how the logistics work out. So please, fill out the forms, tell the people you love them, and tell us here at the Centaurus Festival what panels you might like to see in the future, what you would like us to do, what you think we did well. We look for the feedback, we listen. We try to, at least. The Centaurus Festival was a little more chaotic because of my emergency dental work and a couple of other factors, but we are still here, we're still listening. If you enjoyed the Centaurus Festival, which I think, since there's 62 people here, I think you did, please consider going to HowlCon later this year. I know you guys have all already heard of OtherCon. I don't need to, rep that. Go to OtherCon, duh. But please consider going to HowlCon too, which is being run by our amazing and fantastic volunteer staff member Nova, who is a major backbone to this entire convention. I cannot emphasize that enough. So many things would not function without Nova here, so please go to HowlCon and support it. It's going to be phenomenal. Cannot recommend it enough. You love that there's more than one con per year. Me too! And speaking of, I did see some people in, I want to say, the first lobby on the con floor talking about wanting to maybe start their own conventions. Please do! Please do! Oh my goodness. Please let this convention inspire you to go out and make things. Not just physical, like, zines and essays and panels, but events. Like, meetups, groups, like, hosting jams, making cons. We talk a lot about, just right. That's a really big thing at this convention, because so many of us on staff are archivists. But I want you guys to do more than just right, because y'all are amazing. You guys are so good at so many things. You don't have to stop at just writing. You can do more than that, if you want to. Start a band, start a podcast. I believe in you. Do it. Do whatever feels good, do whatever feels right. I think anything you guys make will be fantastic, and I sincerely encourage you to do so. Please, if you take anything from this convention, please take the inspiration to go out there and leave tracks. And I would love to see anything you guys make. Please don't hesitate to tag me in it on Tumblr. I can't say Twitter because I'm not there anymore. I think I'm on Blue Sky. I don't really use it. Microblogging platforms, I talk way too long. But, should you make a Fiction Folk con planning Discord? I think you should. Do it! I was actually talking with Orion earlier about maybe wanting to host you've heard of game jams, I'm sure, where people make games in a set amount of time. I was thinking of hosting, an event planning jam, which doesn't sound very cool. But in which, a bunch of people all get together and within a set amount of time they plan out exactly step by step how they would like to do an event. They don't necessarily, have to actually go forth and advertise it and do it, but just to give you that, experience, that feel, to be doing it in a group, to be able to ask questions to your peers, to other people who may have, run it.
Yes, a con jam.
A con jam.
Or a con, the convention building convention. Yes, thank you, Kilixa and Skewer Day.
Yeah, because con you do the con. I hate that, thank you. I'm so getting attacked by my tiny cat.
She thinks it's dinner time.
It is not. It is 2 hours early. We just hit daylight
saving time. You scheduled the closing ceremonies right for the time that Onion starts deciding that it's an hour before dinner, so she should start being asking you for dinner.
Naturally. But you can con your brain by pretending to plan a con and then actually doing it.
Conception.
Conception, yes. Thank you guys for all the puns. They're terrible and I love them. And, we don't have a Fiction Folk convention, because that's the one I've seen people talking about. We do not have that. I would love to see that. I think a lot of people would love to see that. A fiction fair, yes, go make those things. The niches are there waiting to be filled. And also, even if you kind of feel inspired to do something that already has a niche filled, but is kind of broad, a General Alter Human convention, or a Draconic convention, or Therian convention, those big sort of concepts. Take it and run with it, honestly. There's plenty of room for all of us here, We aren't competing. We're working in this together. Yeah, that's how HowlCon happened. You start joking about it, and then, whoa, it's real! Adoski, SoupCon when, Yeah, I know about Therian Convergence. I don't want people to feel like they are boxed out of these concepts, it's one thing if you do something that's, really, really niche. If you do specifically an Elf Fae convention around magic in the last week of March. Maybe don't do that, because Shining Hearth would probably be a little, frustrated, because they are already right there. But if you want to do, a broad thing, like Therians, Fiction Folk, Otherkin, Alter Humans generally, Heart Homes, Hearted Identities, Linker Identities, Archetypal Identities, there's a lot of wiggle room here. And you're not stepping on toes, and I don't want people to feel like they are. You can do whatever you want forever. So please, do things, because you won't be here and able to do them forever. I don't mean that to sound ominous or morbid, it's just true. Leave tracks. Leave tracks for the future to see. This is your opportunity. Take it. Orion's leaning over. Did you have something to say?
No.
SoupCon. Yeah, exactly. The artist in the audience. Holy shit, 2 cakes. Let's go.
I just see, if you scroll up in the chat, it appears that Marty's Unwidow has created a server called Fictionkin Con Planning.
Oh, excellent. Do it. This has been a threat from Paige to do stuff. I mean, look, if you don't do it, who's gonna? I hate to say it, but, like, the so-called gray muzzles, massive, like, air quotes around that term, they won't be here forever. They won't be in the community forever. The people that you look to kind of write and host things will not be here forever. Like, I've been planning on taking a hiatus for maybe a year or two, and I've had that on my plate. I know a couple of friends who are currently on hiatus, or who are just around the corner from doing so. Like, do things! Do things so you can also have things. Yeah. Paige, you can style yourself an orange dog thing, but your muzzle is gray. I am not a gray muzzle. I am 28 years old almost. I am a baby. I also have not really done that much, let's be real.
If you're a skull dog.
Yeah, I'm a skull dog. I don't even have fur on my muzzle. Checkmate, atheists.
Your muzzle's white.
White muzzle? I don't like how that makes me sound like a Gandalf.
But it's bone.
I know.
You're a bone muzzle.
Bone muzzle. I don't know how to feel about that one. Happy early birthday, thank you! My birthday's not for a while yet, but I hate 27's my least favorite number, so I'm just like, I'm so excited to not be 27 anymore. But yeah, seriously, if you guys need any help doing anything, please don't hesitate to ask me or, anyone you admire the work of. I promise you, they are a chill as fuck person. And if they're not, fuck them. It's a learning lesson. Now you know, no, don't meet your heroes. Or, well, don't heroize people is probably a better way to do it. Don't lionize people. Except for the lion Therians. They're excluded from that. You cannot opt out of this. This is a threat. It's funny. But yeah, like, don't hesitate to ask. Don't hesitate to ask. And please support the events that are ongoing in the community already. The events that you regularly go to or that you're interested in going to. Like Dove says, there's room for many, many cons. Right. I don't know if we can have a con every weekend just because of the logistics. I don't know, like, that's a lot.
We wouldn't be going to all of them, though.
Yeah, that's true.
For everyone.
That's true. See, we could have a con every weekend, guys. Weekend con. Where are you at? Where are my weekend con planners? Infinite con. Every weekend would probably kill me, Ted. Infinite contour. Oh no. Oh god. We've created a time-space problem. Having enough cons to pick and choose the dream, we could make that a reality. Y'all could make that a reality. This community is, God knows, it's big enough. OtherCon gets like, what, 350 to 450, 500 people every year? That's just OtherCon. I think Draconic Summit gets like, what, 50 to 150, around same size as us. We get around, we're starting to level out, I think at 100 to 200 is probably where we're going to stay at. I don't know about Shining Hearth. I have no idea what the numbers for Shining Hearth look like. You're pretty sure OtherCon's nearing 500? Yeah, makes sense. Like, there are so fucking many of us. I can't emphasize that enough. Like, it feels like we're really, like, it's just us, because it's an audience of 61 people and just me up here. But there are so fucking many of us. And every day, like, yeah, and so many and growing. Every day, new people discover their alter humanity or discover friends with alter humanity who will inevitably drag them along to things like this. Because that's the beauty of friendship. Yeah, and just don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it. Don't be afraid to do it. Put yourself out there. Yeah, also, Dragon says a good point. We really don't advertise these cons much in furry spaces. I'm going to be honest, I did, for the Centaurus Festival this year, I did very, very little advertising. Because I didn't want the convention to explode. I didn't want us to have,
You wanted it to stay small.
I wanted it to stay small, yeah. I didn't want us to be looking at like 250 to 500 people. I'm sure we could. I am very, very sure that if we advertised ourselves and put ourselves really out there, we could be that. I don't want us to be that, though. That's not what, when I made this convention, what I had in mind for it. I wanted this to be something smaller, something cozy. It's basically the Tumblr Con. Don't you say that, Poppy.
Oh.
Don't you say that.
Oh.
I wanted it to be small though, and I will admit it's basically only been advertised on Tumblr and a few select Discords. So hello, Onion. So you're not entirely wrong. But yeah, if you want to make a convention that's huge and fucking super busy, and there's nothing wrong with that. For the record, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Those conventions have a place. They are possible. You can do it. I just didn't want it to be this convention, this time. Maybe, in 10 years, because that's how long I've locked down the Centaurus Festival domain name for, so we have 10 more years of cons. Maybe in 10 years we'll maybe get Centaurus Festival bigger, but I don't know. We're a small convention. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to do a big convention, there's nothing wrong with that. 1,000 Year Centaurus Festival. Do not hold me to that promise, Poppy. I have ADHD and I'm unreliable and I want to get my PhD. Do not hold me to that promise. And worst case scenario, I'll pass Centaurus Festival off to somebody else.
And sorry, I believe this is Onion Con.
Oh no, Onion, is it Onion Con?
Yeah, she's the mascot.
Oh no, we have to figure out who the mascot's gonna be for the next year. Oh, we'll worry about that. Your cat, it's just gonna be Onion. Mythical creature? Nah, Onion.
Onion is mythical.
Oh, the tiniest meow. Hey, ADHD seeking a PhD, yeah. That's what the H and the D in ADHD for. And then you just combine the A and D to make a P. Boom. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for coming. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you for your continued support and making this convention possible. This Centaurus Festival would not be possible without all of you, all of the panelists, all of the artists, all of the staff members especially. You guys are really what makes this. Hi, Onion. If I pick you up, will you meow into the mic for the parties? You up? You're getting picked up! I don't know if you heard her. She did meow. Oh! Excellent. You did hear the most pathetic little baby meow meow. That's Onion's wisdom, everyone. Isn't that right? I'm glad at least a few people heard this cat and her terrible sad meows because her fathers won't feed her 2 hours early. Technically it's only an hour early, but she doesn't know what daylight savings time is. She's a cat. And I'm really glad, Solomon, that this festival did inspire you to become more integrated in the community. I'm really happy to see that it has inspired a lot of people to kind of put their paws or claws or hands or fins or wings or whatever into the community when they otherwise might not have. That's, I think, the most important thing we can hope to do with conventions and gathers, is to inspire others and bring them together. I think that's the point, fundamentally. Onion just bit me. I guess she disagrees. Your first real Alter Human event! Swag! Yeah, and it feeling less intimidating because of the small field, that's another point. Because, there's like 150-ish people here? Question mark? Collectively, not in the audience, but and that's a lot less scary than 500. I don't know why. But it is. I think it's because easier to recognize every single person over those 3 days helps. And then also just knowing the folks running the convention also can probably help. Feline Con. And with that, I think I will bring the formal closing ceremonies to a close and stop the recording. Although, before I stop the recording, I will say, once again reminding, do not forget to do the panel response forums. Don't forget, look me in my eye sockets. I don't have eyeballs, I'm a skull dog. Do it. Just do it. Tell the panelists how much you like their work. Do it. Just right, exactly. And if you enjoyed the Centaurus Festival, consider, this is going to sound like maybe a little silly, consider mentioning us on social media, and just like, this isn't meant to get more people to the Centaurus Festival, it's meant to kind of raise the awareness of the idea of, oh hey, Alter-Human conventions are a thing. Events are a thing. Wow, hey, this was cool. Does anyone want to do this with me? You can see where I'm going with this. Consider, like, you know, putting the idea out there for your friends. Like, hey, this was really fun, I just went to it. Do you want to maybe do something similar? Something, I liked this thing from it, you want to maybe try this with me? You have opportunity. And also, I love hearing how people enjoyed the convention. There's nothing that, like, makes my heart melt into a little puddle more. It's like, oh my god, I did something, and it made people feel emotions. I think my life is complete.